Well, hello there, and welcome back to my channel. I thought it's been some time since my last video, and first of all, just wanted to say happy holidays to everyone. I know we just made it past Christmas, and I hope that everyone has been taking care and doing well during this holiday season. I know it's been a really weird one. It's been a strange year in general, but I know that it's definitely been different celebrating Christmas and the holidays this time around. Many of us probably were doing things virtually and we're unable to see our families, and we're distanced from loved ones and friends. So I know it's definitely been a weird way to kind of celebrate the holidays and close off the year. But you know what? I hope that everyone made the most of it and felt the love and the warmth and the joy somehow despite everything. And anyways, I thought that since we're coming to the end of the year, the end of this crazy, tumultuous year of 2020, I thought I'd just take some time to talk about, I don't know, some things that I am grateful for having happened throughout the year. I know that it's been, again, a very difficult, it was a surprising, strange roller coaster of a year, that's for sure, that nobody really expected to go through. But I know while there has been a lot of hardships and a lot of suffering, a lot of loss in ways, and it was a difficult year indeed for the whole world, I think that there's always good things that can come out of trying times. And so I just thought, why not try our best to end things on a positive note? And I just find, in any season of life, any kind of trial or hardship, any tribulation that we're going through, it's always best to check ourselves and, our situation and try to find the silver lining in everything. And it's really about how we choose to react to a situation and how we can allow it to not just be a burden, but a lesson for us moving forward. So I think, that this is a good time to just, even for yourselves, take a moment to reflect on the year and, obviously observing everything, all the good and the bad, to just do our best to be thankful for some of the good things that have come from it. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it. And in no particular order, I think I just wrote down some things. I'll just jump into some stuff that I thought was good that came out of 2020. So one of the things that I'm grateful for that happened in 2020 is, that this is the year that, when in ways a lot of things were taken away from us, we kind of were able to see the importance of the things that we already have. So that is, we've learned, hopefully, I've learned how to be more grateful for the things in my life that I currently have going on, rather than to be distracted by or consumed by the things that I don't have. I feel like there's a quote that I've seen somewhere on Instagram saying that, 2020 was the year that really taught us to be grateful for all that we have. And that is so true. Be it, the simple things like just even having a home or having food on the table to eat, to having a job, or having even our health, which is, of the utmost importance, especially at this time, to having friends and family in my life. I think that no matter what situation you're in, there's always something to be grateful for, even when the going gets tough, even when, ish hits the fan. I think that, we can always be grateful for something in our lives that we have, because what is life other than, to be experienced and to be humbled for the blessings that we are given. And I think, so I think being able to really reflect on that, and I did this thing, a gratitude journal for the majority of the year, where I tried to write down 3 things each day. It could be simple things that I was grateful for. So it could be things like just going out for a walk around the neighborhood. It could be having a delicious lunch that I made for myself. It could be having, for example, a great conversation with a coworker. Just simple things like that, I think, really help us to get out of our negative mindsets and not focus on the lack, but focus on the abundance that we still have going on in our lives. So that was one thing. Another thing that I think I was really grateful for was the ability to really be able to slow down in a sense. I think prior to this year, so many of us can relate to the reality that was that we would always be just hustling and bustling, trying to get things done, going here and there from work to the next thing, the next social event, just being so distracted by just the busyness that is life and the chaos sometimes that comes with it. And I think that whether or not we wanted it, 2020, this year with the pandemic and everything that has been going on, it's really forced us obviously to go inwards and kind of just reset and take a pause and a moment to shift our priorities, our time and our perspective, and really has literally forced us to kind of stop everything and just become homebodies in a sense and prioritize rest. And of course, some of us may say like, oh, it's too much rest. I don't want to just be at home lazing around doing nothing. And I totally get that. I think there's only so much Netflix that one can take in. But at the same time, I really think that this kind of, it relates to my point before. It really helps us to, hopefully focus on the things that matter and tune out some of the noise that, really pulled our attention and our distraction from really knowing and focusing on what really matters at the end of the day. And I don't know, I think that it's so easy to be consumed by nonsense in a way. And I think this year has really helped to, in some senses, strip away some of that stuff. Like, we haven't been able to, for example, go to the mall or go to concerts or go, do the regular things that we were able to do before all this. And don't get me wrong, I love going out to dinner with friends. I love spending time just exploring and being able to do whatever the heck it is that I want outside. But at the same time, it's been really nice to kind of be able to go inwards and take that time for myself and to rest and realize, we don't need to be doing all of these things constantly, busying ourselves. And we don't need to constantly be on the run. So I think hopefully 2020 has taught us how to slow down and how to rest a little bit more and how to prioritize that and self-care, as they say, in a sense, in a healthy way, of course. So that's another thing. Another great thing I think that came from this year was, in my mind, I think that it allowed us to take the time to really call certain things to the surface. And of course, 2020 has been a difficult time indeed. It's been a time where difficult conversations have had to be had. So many unfortunate events have happened in 2020, but because of where we're at right now, we have been able to, we've seen things like the Black Lives Matter movement be spoken about. There's been just conversations that have happened talking about more vulnerable things when people have lost their jobs. I think that has increased our ability to talk about being vulnerable when people have lost their lives or loved ones. I think that even though these are really awful, frustrating, heartbreaking things that have happened, in some ways, the silver lining from all that is that we are able to dialogue more with each other and hopefully come together closer in community with one another, and just call these things to light and speak about them, because I think a lot of the time issues of equality and race have been swept under the surface, for example, but this year has really forced us all to have those uncomfortable conversations and confront our issues head on, which I think is really a huge positive, and I'm so grateful for that. So I know that there's still a lot of work to be done, that we're kind of just getting started in ways in continuing this dialogue and the changes that need to be made and need to happen in our society in order for, you know, people to be heard and to have their voices listened to, and for differences really to be seen. But I'm so grateful, and I hope the rest of you are really grateful that we now really have more of a platform to engage with each other and call these difficult things out. Okay, so another thing that I'm really grateful for is, just the ability that we all now have learned that we have to be able to pivot and become more adaptable and flexible with the way that we live our lives. I think at first, being hit for us, it was March with lockdown. It really changed the way that we live our lives, and but in a sense, I think we've learned more. We've proven to ourselves as a collective human race that we're able to bond together and hopefully adapt and pivot and find solutions quickly for how to continue to work, how to continue to somehow survive and thrive in challenging and difficult situations. And that is seen, I think, all throughout the world in different industries and different places, whether it be, you know, within our own individual homes, within different industries, working industries, within tech, within, you know, the medical field, healthcare, public policy, governments. I think that everyone has learned or has had to learn really how to be versatile, how to be reacting quickly and responsibly to these situations, and just how to grow from it. So I think that has been really great. I think for me, like at work, because of this, I've had to work from home, which honestly, I think is a bit of a blessing. I love working from home. I miss my coworkers, of course. Shout out to them. I miss our lunch breaks and our coffee breaks, but working from home has been, in a way, it's been a blessing, and it's been convenient, and it's really shown us that we can continue to be productive, thankfully, during this time because of the technology that we now have during this present day. So again, something to be grateful for. There's always something to be grateful for. And so I'm really grateful for that. The final thing that I think I'm grateful for from this year is just the perseverance and the courage and the hope that I think I've seen in all of us, in my friends, in my family, in myself, in just people throughout the world. I know that we are all in some ways feeling drained from this year and from this experience, but I think that collectively we've come together, we have endured and persevered, and there's strength in that, and there's beauty in that. And I think, you know, going through difficult, dark days really is what, at the end of the day, helps to refine your character. It helps to build us. It helps to teach us some of the most important lessons that we ever will learn. And so I think that this year's really shown me and many of us what we really have, and it's helped me as well to really spend time with God and focusing on loved ones and myself, and prioritizing what really matters, and helping to shape the vision of what we want for myself, for other people, hopefully collectively going into the future. And I think that overall 2020 has been, though it's been a difficult year for many of us, I think that it's not a year that we should, you know, look back on in vain. I think that it served its purpose. It will continue to. I think it's been a building year. I think it's been a slow grind in a way, but I think it's maybe perhaps what the world needed, what I needed, whether or not we asked for it. And I think that so many good things will hopefully continue to come. I really hope for better in 2021 to come. And it's just funny, I look back on the beginning of the year and how everyone was so psyched about it being 2020, the year of 2020 vision. But I think that before we get there, you know, we really had to sort through so many things externally and internally within ourselves. And, you know, that healing work started, and it, I think, has to continue in many ways. It's both a personal and, again, a broader collective thing, but as a whole, I really do believe that everything in 2020 will be hopefully serving us for the better eventually in 2021. And yeah, I just really hope and pray that everyone continues to stay safe, to stay hopeful, and excited to ring in the new year for everything that 2021 has ahead. And yeah, just continue to be positive. Yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope that you guys stay safe, and I will talk to you in the next one and see you on the flip side in 2021. Okay, bye for now.